Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is DB333 and welcome back to Tartaran 4, the New Order, Last Days of Europe, as we Commonwealth of Siberia. In the last video, we finally finished up our economic branch, and let me pull it up. The economy is humanist aligned. We've resolved the political crisis with the Novosibirsk Conference, and we have a very basic army. So our ultimate goal is to get working on that. Now, political integration is starting to fall apart, but our idealism is hanging in there. So, I'm hoping that the two, kind of going against each other won't hurt things ultimately. And it'll kind of be balanced out. And we also have some major upticks in our societal development. And we are getting close to improving our state of agriculture, which I'm very excited for, because I have not seen it go up yet, at all. Until then, let's work on stronger armor. One of the most important lessons learned from the Second World War was the necessity of a powerful tank corps. Panzers with more powerful guns and stronger armor than we'd ever seen before broke through our lines as if they were made of putty. We face similar difficulties today. The warlords who have managed to acquire some portion of the former Soviet Union's tank stockpile or figured out some way to produce their own are often the warlords causing us the most damage and casualties. An armored corps will be vital in ensuring our continued military supremacy. Fair enough. Yeah. Consolidating humanist rule. Let's see where that gets us. Better. We're better off, I think. Check the district map. See how we're doing. Not bad. It's a very narrow lead here against the modernist. But we have it. That's important. We have, the Sultan has been elected. Interesting stuff. Nagasaki Accord sign brings peace to Vietnam. Okay. We're finally being able to gain some nice PP every day, which is nice. The Empire of Vietnam. It's a despotism. We'll see what ends up happening, though. Looks like the Republic of China finally beat back these guys eventually. I don't know exactly what happened there, because I wasn't paying attention, but yeah. What else do we want? Ooh. There's perhaps nowhere else in the world where elections are such an important event than right here in Central Siberia. We can expect turnout to, as always, be very high. However, re-election is not guaranteed. The campaign season is beginning very shortly. If we want to convince people to vote for us once again, we'll need to have something to show for. All of our most important plans and promises must be completed before election day if we want to secure our victory. There's no time for dilly-dallying. Get everything done if you don't want to be booted from office. Let's show the people we need business then. Our economy is humanist aligned. What else do we want to do? That's our debt. Our GDP is that big. Our expenditure is much bigger. Let's spend some and hopefully we'll get more money. Spend money to make money. Just a classic fallacy. Like, not a fallacy, but classic economic staple. Construction. Let's up construction. See if we can actually start building stuff. Nope. So we're just spending more on construction. We're not even doing shit with it. Okay. Select national focus. Steel caravans. Every army marches on its stomach, and if you can't supply an army's ravenous appetite, it will die. Even in the rough and varied land of Russia, logistics can be a major challenge. Supply lines often run long and snake-like, leaving them vulnerable to attack. The terrain and weather can also make transportation of materials and goods to a slow and arduous task, with snowstorms and mud a very real and present threat. Mitigating these threats to our supply lines through the use of new technology is vital in that regard. Improved trucks with all-terrain capacity, alongside trains which can pull even larger loads, will surely increase our logistical ability. Let's hope. Let us hope. How is our infrastructure? I think I can check right here. Varies from good to mediocre to god-awful. So, overall not bad. Not the worst. Not the best, but not the worst. Bao Dai abdicates, the Communist Party sweeps into power. Alright. There's Ho Chi Minh. Strategic theorem. Got our military doctrine a-going. I'm thinking attrition. Oh, let me see. Defense organization. Defense organization. Explaining max entrenchment. Let's go attrition planning. We're working on it. Buryatia is probably gonna win. I'm not gonna say anything because I have a feeling I have no idea it's gonna just start going the other way if I say anything. Let's do Republican Eagles. For decades, the Luftwaffe has unleashed hellfire upon our Russian brethren in the West. There isn't a single Russian in those lands without a story to tell about the bombings. Men and women stream up into firestorms in cities, villagers seeking their village entirely destroyed in single carpet bombings, oil fields alight for days after strategic bombing. All stories that support the common logic. If we lose the war in the air, we lose the war, and we lose it quickly. Aerial supremacy is of the utmost importance if we are to reunite Russia and one day combat Germany. Currently our air force is a joke. We need to produce more planes and better quality planes if we are to catch up, and we need to do so rapidly. Andale, andale. How's our political system working? Pro-humanist campaign, Krasnoyarsk, somewhere where it could actually probably do some damage. Especially depending if we campaign in the right places. What else do we want to research? Probably RPG-2s, get working on that. Probably some actual cars. Some that aren't from World War II would probably be a good idea now too. I just realized. You know, it's a gradual process, you know? Republican Eagles. Then we'll do our duty to the Republic. We place basic army with a standardized army. Get some better all-around stuff going. Probably start training a couple more troops, get another army going. Probably 6 going at a time for one time. So just 6. I don't know why I couldn't just say just 6, but, you know. Alright, from here, what do we do? Probably just working our duty to the Republic. Our army is filled with Our army is an army of citizen soldiers. Our ranks are filled with men of the common folk, not elites from fancy schools with special training. These are men who are doing their duty for the Republic, many of them volunteers. However, with each war, our ranks dwindle further, even as our enemy's armies swell to ever larger numbers. We must go to the cities, the towns, the villages of the Republic and ask them to help us defend our democracy. Those we help must help us defend the country if we are to survive. That works for me. Can consolidate humanist rule in a second. Probably once we consolidate a rule, we want to go after the Decembrist. Yeah, probably Decembrist. Consolidate rule. We'll get working on that soon enough. Some say that applying political ideology to military doctrine is a recipe for failure, but our humanist doctrine might yet guarantee substantial improvement in our army's performance, as well as political and cultural benefit. There are many foreign threats who would like to see our workers' republic wiped off the map, and we do not have the luxury of allowing only volunteers into the army or neglecting said army's development and training. Our plans take inspiration from revolutionary France's Levée en masse, and our humanist principles of equality and citizens, military duty of state, and fighting to defend the workers' freedom. There shall be a mandatory militias training every week. Conscription will be added to the humanist constitution, and in addition we will encourage the use of mission-style tactics, which will allow flexibility for soldiers and officers to adapt to their circumstances and surroundings. These reforms will transform our armed forces into a true Republican army of and for the people, and one which will be able to protect our army for any and all invaders, the hallmark of the people's state. Let's go ahead and do military education. Get some land doctrine bonuses, and our army professionalism will begin to rapidly build up. Officers are one of the most vital pieces of a modern military unit. His responsibilities include organizing his men, coordinating with other officers, and leading his men into battle. The qualities we believe to be of the greatest importance are executing those three tasks are initiative and creativity. Officers trained in our military academies have this idea of initiative and ingenuity drilled into them. For example, officers must be able to generate at least 3 solutions to any one test we present them, and execute in a reasonable amount of time. There are hundreds of young, creative, and motivated soldiers in our armed forces who have the potential to be officers, but cannot afford the cost of schooling. We must make these officers' training and schooling available to these men so that we might capitalize on their skills and ambition. That works with me a lot. Professionalism. Our professionalism isn't increasing at all, actually. So that's probably something we should have worked on a while back. But our agriculture stuff is improving. Oh, it's great. It really is. Let's do anti-Decembrist propaganda coming up. And there we go. Consolidating rule. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's better. So we've gained a seat. The monitors have lost one. We're not quite in the lead yet, but we're catching back up. Anyway, Nation of Yeomen. We are a nation of peasants and yeomen. The vast majority of our people live in farms or in isolated villages. This can make it quite difficult to call upon them for the military, for when a peasant with little knowledge of rifles or riflery suddenly given a Kalashnikov and sent into battle, he has just as much of a chance of killing his own comrades as he does an enemy. In order to rectify this issue, we will begin mandating a few hours rifle training every week for men and women over 16. They will be given rifles and taught to shoot at targets in local shooting fields. Thus, when the time comes for them to fight, they will be able to slip into the soldier's role with ease. Wonderful. We have a standardized army. Not quite the best one. We have a humanist economy, which is probably fucking up our construction speed. We actually have factories, guys! Holy shit! And Samar has finally unified them. It's about time. I mean, shit. Provisional Commissariat of Western Russia. Looks like they have Onega to deal with. Which means we might go to war with Finland. Especially if they stand by their guarantee. But our PP gain is pretty big. Is there anything we want to do here? Maybe do this. Stave off the political outsiders for a bit. Little hit to our stability. But you know, other than that, we got it. We have a standardized army, a nation of yeomen. There we are. We also have the principle of directive management. The worst possible thing a military can do to itself is implement a rigid chain of command with strict oversight, where every action must be pre-approved by the man above him. It can allow one to exercise great control over the military, but it also ensures that your lower ranks will be essentially brain dead and will limit your army's effectiveness. Instead, one should encourage their lower ranks to think for themselves as to how to interpret or apply strategic directives from above. The officers and troops on the ground often understand the immediate military situation a lot better than the generals miles away from the front line do. If your men can't function autonomously from high command, then the second your men are encircled or communications cut off, they're as good as dead. So more military spending as well as advanced training methods. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a lot of stuff, apparently. You'll wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Alright, Buryatia has united the Russian Far East. We'll see. He's a youngin'. But if he actually can pull this off, you know, good for him. Actually, maybe not good for him. It's already been 4 years since Pasternak ended the provisional government, and the first election of our new system could take place. 4 years of great change for our republic of hope and dreams, of victories and defeats. For better or ill, the current leading salon has to stand down for new elections, bringing with it its own unique constitution. It's still too early to tell if the old government will be given a second mandate to continue its programs, or if a new salon will have to mandate a rival ideology, projects, and legacies. 3 of the candidates for 63 elections again stand for presidency. Likachev of a December Salon, Sakharov of a Modern Society, and Karms of a Bachelor Group. Dmitry Shostakovich's health being too poor. Oh no. His friend and protege Mixlov Weinberg is picking up the torch of a humanist station. It's too early to tell who has the advance, but by going into the election, one party has been doing unusually well lately in this campaign. You know what? We've been with the humanist this long. And I was actually thinking of maybe switching to another party, but from what I understand, it's probably best if you stick with the party you chose. So with that in mind, humanists. And then are we going to get a different event tree, or what's the deal? Well, our buddy is going to be standing down soon, it seems. Which is a shame, but... Yep, they did declare war on Onega. Which means they're now at war with Finland. Perkele. That's probably... It doesn't look like it's going well for them, I gotta say. In fact, that was probably a stupid fucking decision. Let's get some Army Reserve training. Yeah, that was not a wise decision, now was it? Stupid fucking fascists. Pro-humanist campaign, of course. We gotta do that. RPG-2s. Outdated equipment. RPG-2s. Seems like a downgrade from the RPG-43, but who am I to comment? Who? Let's get working on modern amalgamate. During the French Revolution and subsequent Napoleonic Wars, the French military would often mix conscripts with their core army. I don't want to accidentally... I've wasted a few days, shit. In doing so, they ensured their conscriptions would be brought up quickly to deal with the rest of the army, developing their skills for close proximity with experienced soldiers. We should endeavor to do the same, taking our conscripts and mixing them in for our professional army, bringing everyone up to speed on the front lines and saving the army plenty of time and training. Crap. Hope we didn't lose too much time. Let's get working on special forces, maybe? Yeah, special forces, why not? Yeah, Samara, I think you've done goofed. You really fucking have. Oh, we can do campaigns. What do we have? Okay, let's look. Tomsk has the most turnout. But I think we can get working on a couple of these districts and eventually work on flipping them. So I'm thinking Krasnoyarsk and maybe Kemerovo. So I'm thinking Kemerovo first. We'll have more time to save up. Is there anywhere in Novosibirsk where we can maybe flip? Doesn't look like it right now, but... Actually, did we lose some districts in Kemerovo? I think we did. Look over this. Modern amalgame. Next, let's Let's support Weapon Corps. The two single greatest military innovations to come out of the 19th century were artillery and machine guns. Those two weapons together would prove to be some of the most deadly and destructive in human history, with a death toll in the tens of millions and climbing. The ability to bombard an enemy position from miles away or to saturate an enemy position with hundreds of bullets in a matter of seconds is an incredible advantage. We must train our men on the use and maintenance of these weapons, including them as a part of our mandatory military training program. Let's do it. Should we consolidate our rule? Let's do it. Our idealism is reaching the top, it seems. The Ural state still has all that occupied. Alright, we have some units we can deploy somewhere. Let's deploy them in Tomsk. And, okay, here's what I'm thinking. We do a front line on the far east, because I'm a little bit more concerned with them than I am anyone else. As for our new guys... Right, they're just going to be dropping. Oh! The Modernist Salon has won a clear mandate from the people. Really? The presidential candidate, the famed physician Andrei Sakharov, is to lead the Republic for 4 years. Already the Modernists are hard at work implementing their so-called Blue Duma, a meritocratic broad of ministers from various political salons. Once the ministers are fully staffed by qualified politicians and bureaucrats, Sakharov hopes to work on improving the economy. Having now inherited all of the Central Siberian Plain, the Modernists argue that a combination of free market reform, guided by expert policy making, will catapult the Republic to a more modern society. This new age of prosperity is set to be accompanied with more rights for minorities, such as women and homosexuals. Though Sakharov is noted for his personal pacifism, he and his party have also campaigned to use Central Siberian industries to build a modern-day army capable of overrunning and cutting out any threat to the Republic. In foreign policy, once contact with the outside world is restored, the Modernists are likely to lean towards a pro-OFN policy. Well, congratulations, buddy. We got a new flag, Central Siberian Republic. It's not the worst flag, I guess. And we gotta redo a bunch of shit. Okay. Well, what are you gonna do? Shit, this kind of complicates things. Alright, a shining city. Tomsk, the city on a hill, the shining city from which all of Russia shall be illuminated. Republic of thinkers, dreaming for a better world, not just for Russia, but for all people. It's time we reach out to the world to spread our message of benevolent intellectualism. We dream of a future where the blue-collar worker is as secure in his livelihood as the white-collar worker. Of a future where all of humanity is united in democratic self-governance. A lofty ideal, to be sure, but one that may be possible in time due to the right allies. Okay. So it looks like we still have a Violet Duma. During a period of already great changes, another significant change has occurred. A new Salon has been elected into power, enabling yet another potential paradigm shift in Central Siberian politics. For both those who vote in the new administration and those who are not left awake at night, distracted during the day, wonder how they will now be governed. Will economic policy shift? Will the nation's army and politics be reformed or modified? Above all, will the new president make good on his bold war and fulfill his promises? Or will he make too many compromises or even go back on those promises? The president has an opportunity to shape Central Siberia in his image, and so all eyes and ears are aimed directly at him, waiting for him to succeed or fail. This pivotal moment has a population ripe with either idealism and hope or cynicism and apathy. Only time will tell which half of the population was right. Well, A learned man once said, the truth is never simple. That man, of course, was Andrei Dmitrievich Sakharov, a complex man for complicated times. Born into the intelligentsia, Sakharov found shelter from politics in the gilded cage of Soviet science. Keeping his head down and immersing himself in the chosen field, Sakharov survived, despite occasionally drawing the unwelcome attention of the authorities for his outspoken remarks against party-approved academia. Sakharov managed to find his way eastward after the collapse of Bolshevik authority, taking up residence in Tomsk. His technocratic, idealistic views brought him into the clique that would later be known as a modernist. Espousing a sincere belief in the power of science and technology to create the foundation of a better society, Andrei Sakharov embodies the idealism of Tomsk like no other. Okay. Well, we got the Shining City. Let's get working on some new trucks. Outdated equipment. We gotta get a new general. Who do we want to give? Let's give it to Nikolai Batyuk. Alright, general, lead us to victory. Alright, so the modernists, we have almost the most popularity, but we also have close to having the most authority too. So we have some good stuff going for us. We're about to consolidate humanist rule. You know, I guess we just, we'll get a modernist army, I guess. We're almost done with our army tree, so I kind of just want to... I don't know. Alright, let's check our Duma support. In District Map, Tomsk is still loaded. Kemerovo is starting to swap open a humanist. It might end up going back to the humanist later. I'll have to wait and see. Let's get infrastructural reserves. So the best interest of a Central Siberian Republic to conduct sound diplomacies and maybe our only chance of getting the upper hand over our neighbors. Some nations may be interested in hearing of our modernist ways, and we should approach other democracies in an attempt to receive aid. We should also focus on diplomacy with the superpowers, as they are the one transforming the world. Primarily the United States could be our best benefactor, as they are the defender of democracy on the world stage. They may very well be inclined to help us, as we are one of the most limited democracies in Russia. Or one of the limited democracies in Russia. Next is Germany, and we should be most likely to show the world our hostilities to them. We will return to Moscow one day. Last, Japan is a more touchy subject. While very imperialistic, Japan is the nearest superpower to us, and could very well be dangerous to us if we are hostile to them. Some of the salons are saying we should remain neutral toward Japan, yet still Sakharov and modernists are in charge, believe allying with America is the way forward. If that angers Japan, so be it. That's a good plan, actually. Excuse me? Research speed boost by how much? It's only for 365 days or so, but still! God damn. You know, just to catch up with where I was at earlier, because we got downgraded to basic army. Yada yada. Focus dot autocomplete. I think that's fair, at least, you know? So let's render onto Caesar. The greatest driver of any modern economy is credit. The ability for Russian entrepreneurs to be able to take out loans for Russian, on the promise of future profitability for the companies is massive. It would spur massive growth in the economy as more secure foreign banks help Russian businessmen grow their companies and the overall economy to heights never seen before. However, this is only possible if Russia breaches the international financial markets. Our current credit rating is low among the most major national banks, and they aren't willing to invest and possibly lose money on a nation in such a vulnerable position as our own. We'll work towards making friends in the financial community and see if we can change their minds. Fingers crossed. Looks like we still have the Violet Duma. This is the name after all. The modernist ideology calls for the modernization of our military and its doctrine. They want to see our new army being cutting edge, being fast, strong, adaptive, and technologically advanced. There should be helicopters slicing through enemy lines at lightning speeds, impenetrable mechanized divisions penetrating and encircling our opponents, and intelligent, creative, and flexible plans derived by planners possessing those same characteristics. War is a numbers game. You will win by depleting enemy resources and morale, by systematically breaking the complicated system that is a modern army. The scientific way will lead us to victory. Central Siberia, advance. Well, that's all for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you as always for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of my content in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more uploads every weekday. So other Saturday, if you have any comments, feedback, concern, anything of the sort, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get, and I appreciate any and all feedback you kind of folks might have for me. Want to send $50? Oh, they actually took the state. Okay. Want to send a few bucks my way? Check out my Patreon. If you can't or you don't want to, fair enough. But it's the only way I can make money off this right now, so I'd appreciate if you at least consider a thought. Also have a Discord if you want to check that out. We can chat, play games, stuff, a grand old time in general. So yeah, thanks as always for watching, guys. My name has been Dogboat333, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.